Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon, and today we're going to be making some games for fun. So, yesterday and today we are going to be working on Feast of Legends, the Clapback Edition, otherwise known as I lose my mind gradually as I write a game about Wendy's. So, let's take a look here. Everything should be the way it is. Gouda. So let's get started, shall we? So, yesterday we worked on equipment and we added a bunch of things, so today we're going to be working on social groups. And what do you mean by social groups? Well, social groups, in my mind at least, mean groups of individuals that the players can take quests from, that players are going to be working with, indirectly or directly. People are getting mad at me online for making spelling errors, even though it's correct. So let me do a look here. So what we're going to be doing, and if I remember where I placed that, right here, our social group section is going to go right here. We're going to call it social groups and relationships. Now, why is this important? Well, in a role-playing game, role-playing is important. I know, this is a huge big think time that no one has ever thought of ever before. That people roleplay in games. I know, it's astounding. No one has ever thought about this before, and truly I am a hero of our time. So, what we're going to be doing is going to be adding some social groups and relationship values that players can keep track of to understand if they're friends, not friends, or they just generally want to murder that person over there. Also, we are listening to Dystopia Noir, 1 hour mix number 2, free use, no copyright, / synthwave, new retro, outrun, EDM, by DGTV, Damon Gaming TV. Why we are listening to this? Because I felt like listening to some cyberpunk music, because I'm a cyberpunk dude. There we go. Boost that up a little bit so people can actually hear it. So for our fantasy game here, we're going to be listening to EDM. Don't question it. Just roll with it. Don't worry. Everything is fine and dandy. Alright, looking here, we are good. So, what do we want to do for social groups? So let's go back to our previous games here. We want to take a look at... Let's take a look at Tabletop Online first. I'm also going to open up Where Are You? Monster Girl Adventures, because I do have a system in here as well. So we want to go through hitting level cap, that's not it. There we go. Masking the Harem, reactions and relationships. Monster Girl Adventures. We want to go to Where Are You? If I keep talking like this, inevitably, I will be doing that. Do I not have one in here? I could have swore I did. Huh. I must not. I must be using it as assumptions. Or is it in another game I wrote? No. No, I'm good. Don't worry, everything's fine. I'm also going to change the name of this right now, before I forget. It's getting really spooky, by the way. Let's check out Granville may have it. So we just want to do Control-C, Control-V here. Does Granville have the thing I'm looking for? Ties that bind. Let's see, so Granville produce characters will need to forge these bond multiple, but probably man up the list of the hearts and the magician. nation is created in that either player character or non-player character. And their attributes as the relationship grows. Characters to tap into the relation to gain guy values and steps associated with the intensity of that relationship. Relation rank from 0 to 6. So I'm going to use this one instead. Goodbye, Granville. We hardly knew you. We'll be working on you next, actually. Don't worry, we like working on games, because games are fun, and we like making games. So, let's see. Characters are really alone in a great world. There are 1,000 people, they may interact with you, and they fight. Characters progress through the land, they'll come across men and women, they will come into something of faction, pride, feelings for their being. So, the relationship. 20 plus relationship, the target moon. Catch them in for useful resources or abilities such as benefit. This is going to break horribly. Turn that down a little bit. Groups that we want to work with. Let's see. Nobles, merchants. Let's don't use the proper term. Burgers. There are hundreds of different kinds of groups and factions that dot the world. While the characters will deal with all of them at once, they may often deal with Okay, no more cyberpunk. This is getting really loud. There we go. It's an ad, everyone. This is what we get. We get ads. Ads. There we go. Some relaxing bossa nova and jazz music. For study. Smooth jazz music. Background music. Involving their business and its patrons. Waiting to be beaten back. There we go. Peasants are easy. Travel. Crises? Yeah, crises. How do you spell that? Crises. Crises. Yeah, crises. So. They rear their ugly head. So the council sign them. Good news. Their charges. Discontent, which reminds me of Crusader Kings 2, which I played a little bit today. Once in the blue moon, I play one of those games, and I decided just to play around and see what I can do. And my council, as always, tries to make my life miserable. The council is discontent. You are always discontent. I should have you all executed. Then I didn't do that, because I got killed. Thanks, Borislav, the very angry removing man who beat me up and tore my head off. But we don't talk about that. We're playing Polish people, so that's what naturally happens to them, unfortunately. It's getting bullied by everyone, and Germans. The council's discontent can be... If it can soar. luck. Yeah. Pause. The cult that turns its wrath upon the characters can easily influence the minds of the populace against them, using devilish tactics and underhanded approaches. Guilds form the backbone of industry. Organized groups, individuals with a shared history, from shoemakers to adventurers. Can reflect the guild has quests to their services and members. There you go. Okay. Services and members. Protecting them, investigating them, or simply eliminating the competition. Guild with a pleasant outlook on the characters often can be called upon for their services and value. And a moment's notice. The guild with a unpleasant outlook has the characters barred from shops, facilities, and generally services that the guild would normally offer. We're almost done. One more. Colleges are the intellectual hubs of the world, whether studying powerful magic, foreign literature, the power of theater. Studies, research, students. All three in line and advancing academia. I'll call it to them. Select use of their valuable research and tools. I got a dinghy on my phone. What's going on? Who's dead? Who's not dead? It's nothing important. Awesome. So, alright, we wrote all of these. Let's go all the way up. Let's Control C. We're going to place these right there. Oh, wow. Alright, so I'm going to do that. Highlight everything we can. And Control Shift 8. We're going to bold these. Peasantry. Peasants. 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 I mentioned there was peasants involved in this. Peasants. 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 Town council. I put a space between the... Wondering why I'm adding so much space in between everything is because I know I'm going to be adding pictures to this section. And having space means that you can move it down a little bit and it won't intersect with anything. So let's go back up here. Let's hit that button, update the table of contents, social groups and relationships. So I'm actually going to put a side note here. We're going to do side note. Why can't I use charm? Effectively what I'm going for here is that you can't simply just say, oh, I'm going to roll charm. Because I've never actually liked just, I want to roll charisma to do a thing. And it's just like, these people hate you, but I have plus 70 bajillion charisma. I can do whatever I want. No, not quite. It's your charisma is more of your, for lack of a better word, first impressions. Your ability to make a good impression on someone right away. While your your reputation is a little bit more than that. Your reputation is, hey, we know that guy. He's someone good. He's someone we like. He's someone we don't like. It's kind of more far-reaching. It's an established history that the character has or doesn't have with a group. That's kind of like what it is. If you have a really good charm check right off the bat, you may be able to influence people a little bit more. It may boost itself up higher. However, here's no starts here. Leave that little section there. Why can't I use charm? Nobles, peasantry, religious cults, guilds, colleges. I could probably organize that, but I don't really want to because I don't feel like it's necessary. Alright, so that was kind of a cop-out, kind of a quick way of doing things, but what I can do is I'm going to zippity zoom up the way up here. What I can type in now is okay. That looks good to me. So where are we? So we're going to have to expand the cooking mechanics. We like expanding cooking mechanics, don't we, folks? Cooking, cooking, cooking. So first things first, let's take a look through everything to make sure everything looks proper and right in the world. We've been streaming for 43 minutes as of right now. Let's see. See, we want to go down here. Okay. So let's see what we want to do here. We want to actually... video games. Wow. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Okay. That's a terrible idea. Let's see. Yes, I'm on the Reddit. So more of like a building up mechanic. So let's... building up mechanic up to a specific target number. Now, would that be fun to play? And that's completely different. Let's take this. Let's see. What am I looking at here? What am a little bit sworn to the hit points and such thing. I don't know if I want to do that. Damn it, Reddit, why are you so useless sometimes? More video game stuff, more video game stuff. So, yeah, this is what you do. You Google this and try to figure out. No, that's not anything what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? I know what I'm looking for, and I don't know what to do. Bloody Pathfinder. Oh, God. Where was... Because one thing is what I want to do is I want to make the cooking mechanics really, I would say almost overly in-depth, and just make them big and exciting and stupid and fun. And make people really enjoy the fact, like, I'm making, food, doing a thing. Because currently, like, the system I have right here works. It's not perfect. I think what we need for this... So, this is actually a good idea. I'm probably going to take... at least use a part of that as I write down my ideas. So, what I would like... Because our current thing is we have... Oh, God. Ingredients. We want ingredients, and we want the ingredients to make the meal. Now we need multiple ingredients to make a better meal. So more ingredients, better meal. However, as we all know, sometimes more ingredients make worse meal. So you want to combo good ingredients that go well together to get the biggest bonus for your awesome food. I think I'm going to try to use this, what I have right here, just kind of the idea of building up. So if we're going off this, ingredients can be turned into meals. The meal is the sum. Meal equal ingredients. Yeah, meal equals the ingredients used. So let's say an ingredient gives you a +1 strength, -1 arcane. Let's say another ingredient gives you +1 strength, but also gives you -1 Vit. Vitality. Yeah, that's a... Is vitality even a stat? I forgot. No, strength. It's, dex. So if you combine these two ingredients together, you get +2 strength, -1 arcane, -1 dex. That's what the meal is doing to you. And let's say unique ingredients give bonuses. Let's say, for example, with our unique ingredients, with our bonuses, we have an ingredient that gives plus advantage to strength rolls. So we have all of this plus advantage to strength rolls, STR rolls. So that's our meal. This is what we're eating right now. Now, obviously, we want to maximize what we're getting out of it, because that's the logical conclusion of all players, is to do the most efficient method possible, because all characters are rational actors. If we assume every character is a rational actor, they're going to want to get the most bang for their buck. How do you get the most bang for your buck? You have to mix and match your ingredients to make sure that you get the highest possible amount of positive attributes and the lowest amount of bad attributes. So you don't want to use crappy ingredients, because if you use crappy ingredients, you're just going to punish yourself by giving your stat by penalizing yourself. I'm drinking apple juice, by the way. So, if characters are rational actors, and we always have to assume a character is going to be a rational actor, because if you don't assume a character is a rational actor, nothing makes any sense, because every character will be acting irrational. And if you're irrational, that means you're not doing anything, and you're fundamentally... You can't base anything off an irrational actor. An irrational actor can do anything. So what stops a character from just deciding to eat their boots and take -2? What stops them from eating their boots is that they're going to be taking a -2 going forward to one of their stats, which is really a big deal, because it'll be off the modifier, not the... Because it'd be based off the modifier, so the better food you're eating, the better... Better food... Better ingredients, better buffs, better meals. Meals last until your next snack or meal, so you constantly kind of want to keep going with your current one until you run out of it, in which case, after you run out of it, your buffs go away, so you want to remake the meal, so it's kind of a risk-reward. Do you want to use the buffs all right now, get messed up in a fight real bad, or have to wait a day? Or do you want to save your ingredients for when you want to go into a bigger fight? And you want to use... Not because it's your big buff, but do you want to use all your crappy ingredients and get a few penalties to things, or do you want to use your good ingredients and get good penalties to things? Make certain... Each ingredient increases their base target number, starting at 2. So, I'm going to do the math here real fast. So, let's do our math here. So, let's say, what's our average? Because again, we want people to cook. That's the goal of this system. We want people to sit down and say, well, I want to cook food, because cooking food is fun, and because I want to get big buffs. Again, the average is 10. Alright, so let's say the average 2-ingredient meal. 2-ingredient meal. You have to have 2 ingredients for a meal. Minimum. 2-ingredient meal is target number 10. Every additional ingredient is +5 to the target number. So if you throw in a bunch of ingredients, yeah, you might have Superman, but you might also completely botch it and have crap, and you lose everything. So you fundamentally want to keep it lower unless you have the ability to keep it high with bonuses, or... And then I can also put in, good cooking supplies. If you have really good cooking supplies, you're going to get a natural bonus to things. Supplies, it's supplies. This really sexy sound. I apologize. So 2 ingredients makes a meal. Every additional ingredient makes +5. Let's do cook off. +5 target number as well. And what a cook off does is take off an attribute. Penalty. An attribute modifier or ability +5 TN. So let's say we have our example up here, +2 +1 +1. This is this meal right here. Going off this logic, our meal up there would be target number 15 default. It's a tough check because you're rolling 3 things. Let's say we also want to cook off the -1 dex. It's going to be target number 20, but we would get +2 strength, STR, -1 arc, advantage on strength rolls. So you really want good supplies to do that, and you might be able to get good ingredients that gives you just flat bonuses, but the flat bonuses... I just realized my light's on in my kitchen. Give me 1 second. Ha! Oh god. Squeaky, 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 squeaky. Squeaky chair. I love my squeaky chair. Fun story about my chair. I actually found this outside and completely abandoned. I was using a lawn chair for a while, and it's actually a really nice chair outside the horrifying squeaking noises. It's like a nice $80-$90 office chair that someone just was gonna throw out, and I'm like, nope, I want it. So I took it for free. It's mine now. It's seen better days, but you can probably hear that as well. That's me cracking my knuckles. So, advantage on strength rolls. You can do the cook-off. Looks like there should be another thing here. What would be another thing? I'm not going to do something like portion sizes, because that would be excessive. Like, oh, you want to make only 2 portions of something. Actually. So actually, let's use that, and let's say cooking supplies. -5, -10, -15 target number, depending on the quality. Oh, actually, I know. So pretty much what this is, if I wanted to bump this up to a 3, it would immediately be a 25. Like, this is pretty much enhancing what you have to make it better. So if I want to bring that to make it look like this instead of this, it would be a target number 25 checking, and that's formidable. It's pretty difficult already, and this is just 3 ingredients cooking off and enhancing the flavors. But if you want to do bigger things, you want to use more ingredients, you want to use more things for it, you're using more complex ingredients, do more complex things, yeah. When you want to use better ingredients, so you don't get as many penalties, so you can get better things, so so it's not as difficult, so you don't have to cook off as much things, so you can lower the target number value by less. Actually, I'm going to do ingredient ranks. Poor, average, good, excellent, perfect. And pretty much this is a net of -2, a net of 0. Actually, I want this to do a net of -1, net of 1, net of 2, net 3. What do I mean by net? So let's say our poor meat I got is going to be +1 strength, but -2 arcane. But my perfect meat is going to be +2 strength, actually let's say +4 strength, -1 arcane, or -1 dex, because it's just big and fatty. So those are our 2. Actually, let's just do. So again, why you can put these 2 together? You can put a poor meat with good or perfect meat, but you're not getting as much out of it. You're only going to get a +5 strength boost, but you're going to get -3 dex, and you want to be able to cook off. Actually, we would be able to cook off. Yeah, actually, I'm going to keep that. Yeah, you'd have to cook it off. Let's see. Stretched. I'm going to do something akin to ingredients. So 1 ingredient is for 1 party member, so you can have 3 poor meats. Or let's say you have a party of 3, and that's 3 perfect meat. But if you do something like 2, 1, you're going to use whatever the lowest one is. So you want to save up that perfect meat until the very end, make sure it doesn't spoil or something. But if you stretch it, you reduce the required ingredients by 1. So if you have 3 people in your party, let's say you have 1 party member. Let's say you have 3 people in your party. You can stretch your resources and reduce the required ingredients by 1. And pretty much take that perfect meat, if you only have 1 of them, and stretch it across everyone. I would immediately make this one actually incredibly difficult to do. It would actually take a lot, so you'd only maybe want to do it twice to make sure you only need two of an ingredient, or you may only want to do it once to make sure you only need that, or up to 3 times, depending on how large your party is. But if you have a larger party, it does not fundamentally make cooking less valuable because you're going to be expending more resources, but you also have more people. That means you have more resources. And okay, don't worry, I'm not going to think about it. Don't think about that. Cooking supplies, cooking skill. Trying to think of things that would increase. Guess I can also base things off the type of meal. Things like soups are easier. Cooking X is easier when Y. So cooking soup is easier when you have, let's call it, let's use something like broth. And we can do it, that's a -5 TM. But cooking meat is easier when you have grill. Actually, cooking location. I'll give you a -5, -10, -15 target number. And what this effectively is going to be campfire, low kitchen, high kitchen. Cooking skill. Alright. Alright, okay. Alright, this could work. So we've been streaming for about hour 15 now. Tomorrow we are going to take all of this and we are going to make a cooking system as deep as we can get it to make a cooking system for Feast of Legends. So, alright, here, let's reset everything. Let's going to make that a 1. We're going to make this a 2. And then we get to do all the big think time classes, which you get to hear me audibly thump my head up against a wall repeatedly as I attempt to figure out what I want to do with this. Actually, let me take a look on something real fast. Expeditions, monsters, and other terrible things. Let's put attack of opportunity. Actually, clean up enemies. Alright. Well, thank you everyone for watching this far. Hope you all had fun. And tomorrow we get to make the cooking RPG we never know we didn't want. Thank you all, and have a nice night.